Żyjemy.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
O! O! O!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Haha! Tak jest! Przechytrzyłem cię, łajdaku!
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Nie działa. Aha. To ci ciekawostka. Czy to jest już koniec? Ha? Obrazki jak strona. Czyżbym tu mógł sprawdzić, co? Nic się nie stało. I tu też nic się nie dzieje. Wygrałem? Przegrałem?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
Jezu.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Słuchaj poleceń. Słuchaj poleceń.
When Stanley came
Tak, drzwi po lewej, wiem, drzwi po lewej. Poszedłem. Poszedłem tak jak trzeba było. Ale tu nikogo nie ma, tak?
There was not a person here either.
Już to gdzieś słyszałem.
Of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an... Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Aha. To niespodzianka. Coś nowego.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked...
Tak, wiem. 2 piętra. 2 piętra. Zamknięte. Czy być bogatym to przestępstwo? Lustro nie działa. O do diabła. O do diabła. Strategia biznesowa. Zastrzelić pandę. Czarne garnitury, czerwone krawaty.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Do diabła ciężkiego! Toż to jest absolutne szaleństwo! Narrator się zdenerwował.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
No dobrze. Słuchaj narratora. Inaczej kończy się to zgonem. Spokojnie, spokojnie.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Telewizorów od groma.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
O ja cię kręcę. Przypomina mi się Portal, chociaż tam nie było aż takiej schizy. 146, 147.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ha! Zrujnować. Zniszczyć i wyłączyć. Wszystko jest wyłączone. Jakby nie patrzeć. 4. Halo? Sprawdźmy, co w pozostałych pomieszczeniach. Bo mogą być jakieś ciekawostki w tej paranoi. Wielki czerwony guzik. Wszystko powciskałem. No nic, no guziki sobie można powciskać. No taki monitor to ja bym chciał mieć.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Ej! Kia! Halo? Halo? Halo?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Znowu? Szczęśliwy? Ostatnio byłem szczęśliwy, jak wciskałem guziki. O nie! Nie.
Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Halo? Halo?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nie.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
To pozamykane wszystko. O!
The lounge was sublime. A work
Bla 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 bla.
To get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Tu jeszcze nie byłem.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
A to ciekawe. A to bardzo ciekawe.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no. No, it's to the right, my mistake.
Prawie zawału dostałem.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Dzień dobry. Tu nas jeszcze nie było. Haha!
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to go back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Jezu.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Bla 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 bla.
When Stanley... Wait.
What the?
Wait, what? No.
What?
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Haha. To może tu. I może tu? Tu jeszcze mnie nie było. Halo? Wszystko pomieszane.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh. Oh. Jezu.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Może faktycznie gdzieś przegapiłem notatkę. Może...
Okay,
What?
it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Halo? No dobra. Tu nic. Panie narrator.
Ha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okej. Nie. Nie, tu nas nie było.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Ah. Jezu.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
To mogę zrobić. Ha? Tu nie było. No dobra. Lepiej się nie buntujmy. Kto wie do czego... Zawsze to jakaś ciekawostka, co?
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Od razu weselej, od razu się lepiej czuję. Mój Boże. Wyłączcie to. Nie. To. Halo. O! Jezu. Tak się nie da. No może tak. Hałas, straszny hałas.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Nie chciałbym? Na pewno bym? Paproć jak paproć. Paprotna jest. Paprociowa w zasadzie. Okej.